But don't ask me if I how I wrangle up the audio settings. It's like
it is something else. Then
I just look at troubleshooting guide. Do this. I have no idea on the the fundamentals of audio mixing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just looking at guides. Okay, sound good for now. Okay,
sound good.
Next time, open back. Oh no, it doesn't sound good anymore.
4 years in, and you were still figuring it out.
Yeah, but the study never stops, kan? Learning never stops.
Is it learning if you haven't learned anything in the first place?
Exactly.
I mean, that's why you learn fundamentals in school. You never know when life comes at you and say, hey, do you remember how to do logic gates? Do you know how to use the AND operator?
Yeah. And or not. Okay, how do you design circuit to fit this requirement?
Mm-hmm. Hey, can you do that kind of thing but only use transistors?
Hey, can you program a PLC for a conveyor belt?
Oh no.
I think the podcast is started somewhere already.
Yeah.
Welcome to dia.log, the Game Matters podcast.
Welcome.
It's running, right? Okay, it's recording on my end. Alright, cool. It's episode 113.
Oh, it sounds like a good name, like in Japanese, Ichichi-san.
Ichichi-san.
Mr. Ichi-Ichi.
Ichi-san.
Very itchy, yeah? Ichi-san. Ichi-san. 113, and it's July, and the Progress Here Twitter account has said that we have passed 50% of 2022.
Oh no.
Q2, let's go.
Q2, let's go.
Or rather Q2, oh no. Video games, oh no. It's getting here again. The big season is coming. Introducing the panel, we have Danial over there.
Hello.
On the other side is Anan.
What's up?
And I am Amirul Mekronos Ashraf, and hey, video games. We keep saying video games, but we started out with audio editing and learning and electrical stuff.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, video games can be anything right now. I mean, some people play games to mow lawns, and some people play games to mow down monsters. Like there are lawns need mowing down. Oh, we're gonna go that thing on the docket that we keep on forgetting to talk about. We have to talk about it.
Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, sure.
Start with the obvious one. The second Game Pass Game Club game. Hey, what's fun on PC Game Pass right now? Vampire Survivors.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors. Like, how did he gain popularity this fast? I
don't know.
That's why I say, like, how?
I think okay. From my experience, a lot of like obscure games are really popular because of streamer. So they should
probably
somewhere in the equation.
I like to say that Vampire Survivors is this year's Valheim moment.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It came out for us. It came out of nowhere, but it spreads like through word of mouth mostly. It's not like, oh, we got a the media get press release for this, or the media get to see this upcoming game. No. Some indie developer released it. People play it. They found it fun. They post it on Reddit or something, and then word of mouth just slowly, boop, Oh, everybody's playing this game now. Huh? Okay. Sure.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
And thankfully, Vampire Survivors is a fun one. But
Yeah.
also, Daniel, remember that I said about not playing any more roguelikes after Rogue Legacy 2?
Did you break the rule?
Obviously, because that's the next game I played after that, which means that I've been playing Vampire Survivors for a while.
Yeah.
What to say about Vampire Survivors? Do you know what the game is?
I think yes.
It's a okay. There's a genre of game called bullet hell, but this one you are the bullet hell.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, you are the bullet hell.
Instead of dodging the bullets, you are spewing the bullets. But it's I don't know if anyone else have thought of this idea, because it's, I think the novelty of that, right? The idea of you are the supreme powerful person in this screen that will die eventually, at least until after 30 minutes. Don't know how or why, but this idea hasn't happened yet, or we just didn't see it coming. But there's a lot going on with it. The fun thing is that it isn't primarily a roguelike in the a roguelite. It's really roguelite, and you have a lot of tools to like control the randomness. Plus, it's not that much of a random stuff. The map is basically the same, right? And the wave of enemies is very much predictable. Each 5 minutes, expect to get trapped.
Yeah, the trap, yeah.
Yeah, get trapped into a circle of flowers. Or every 10 minutes or so, a wave of bigger enemies appear, or a wave of smaller, weaker, but they are in abundance coming off screen to hound you.
I think like in Jurassic Park, and they said they walk in droves, basically that.
Also, the game is just you walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just moving left or right. You don't have to press attack. Just it will like shoot or like whip, attack, whatever on timing. Every half second.
The thing that got me like thinking with a lot of Vampire Survivors is that if you haven't played yet, just try and survive the first 5 minutes and just say, okay, this is a slow to start game. Minute 10, oh my god. Minute 15,
Oh god.
what am I looking at? Minute 20, what the hell? Minute 25, in a piece. You just don't touch the controller. Minute 30,
you just
game
feel
over.
like automatic kill.
You just sit there doing nothing. Basically, the Luigi wins the game without doing anything. That's the bit. That's the bit here.
Or maybe this is the cookie clicker.
Yeah, it's really cooking. Yeah.
At some point, you don't have to do anything.
The game, the ultimate goal of Vampire Survivor is to become the idle game. You see numbers go up and you do nothing. It's either that, or it's also another way of looking at Vampire Survivor is that it has the same amount of satisfaction, the cathartic release as mowing down a lawn. Fun fact, there is a special stage where you literally just mowing down the lawn.
Oh,
All
yeah,
the enemies
yeah.
are plants. When I had that revelation, the revelation of thinking like, oh, that's why I find it fun and relaxing, and then suddenly, oh, I've gone to Il Molise. God damn it, they have the same idea as well. They know. You listen to a very chirpy southern Italian music while mowing down the lawn, and it is the most, I don't know, the most fun part of a video game I played this year in that 5-minute bit. I mean, you stretch it to 20 minutes, a bit long lah. But yeah, it is fascinating how fun it can be. And it boils down to a unique way of showcasing numbers go up. Also, it helps that there is also the upgrade system. So you go around, you have to collect the weapons. There are a lot of different weapons, like from your Castlevania-ish whips to twin guns to a cat to the sound of music. Well, the sound of mana is called, like, but yeah, the sound of music is so strong that nobody who is in the trajectory above or below the character will die listening to it. You can also throw out like Santa water.
Santa water, yeah.
I thought it was holy water, but no, Santa water, Saint water. There's a recurring theme here. There's also the pigeon. They call it what? I thought it was written pigeon, a misspelling of pigeon, but Peshone.
Yep.
Is it Italian kind of thing?
I think it's Italian, yeah.
There's a lot of Italian references in this. The developer is Italian, so that's why like a lot of the name is like, one thing is in English, one thing is in not English. Like the dual guns, right? The two guns. I cannot remember one of them. I think it's called 8 the Sparrow. The other is an Italian name that I cannot remember because I do not know how to pronounce it. But if I hear it one time, it will stick around. Like how I remember Il Molise.
Il Molise.
Il Molise doesn't exist. That's the Italian equivalent of a police, as I've discovered. It's a very tiny region. It's a very tiny state. So the joke is that for us, with the police joke is that, police just have like 8 people in that state. Their joke is that, this state is not even exist. That's why it's an unlockable stage, a hidden stage.
It doesn't exist.
The joke runs deep. Yeah, but the one thing I haven't figured out is that what's the beef with Italians and vampires, if any?
Is it like bukan Dracula? It's actually Romanian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that's the Balkans, right? But
yeah, that's the Balkans. Yeah.
So that's Eastern European. So what's Italy after? Hold on, how close to Italy to East Europe again? Oh man, geography. Google Maps.
Don't ask me. My geography is terrible.
So what's the question again?
How close is Italy with the rest of East Europe?
East Europe is not okay. It's okay. Consider German, and then right below we have Austria and blah blah blah, and then Italy.
Oh, yeah, Austria, Switzerland, and then Italy, right?
Yeah,
what's east to Italy?
East of it. Greece.
Okay, still too far. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, how far is it to Romania and the rest of the Balkans? Like
quite far.
Bulgaria, places
because
like that.
Italy is considered like Southern Europe.
Yeah, probably Southern Europe. Yeah,
it's like Spain. Let me check again.
So yeah, that's still the one thing that I haven't discovered. Or maybe there's just
okay. They're just Italy. It's pretty close to Eastern Europe. It's like they're just split by a sea. Just ada laut in between them. Yeah, so it's pretty close.
So okay lah. So they can talk vampires then.
Yes,
that kind of
Transylvania, everything. Yeah,
the European vampire, not
Eastern European,
not Malaysian vampire. We have our own vampires. It's less cool, but scarier, I guess. But yeah, the Italian connection is a lot. I mean, the developer is very proud to be Italian, I guess. So go for it. Yeah, that's Vampire Survivors. I'm surprised that the game is still chugging along well. It's now at version 0.8. It's still technically an early access title. Betting on how if it's gonna be 1.0 by the end of this year.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
I mean, even playing, I can feel like, okay, this is quite polished. They just add some stuff and then 1.0 should be good.
Yeah, true.
Because if it hits 1.0, guaranteed game of the year list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The question mark right now is
Indie
still
of the
early
year.
access. It's very like, oh, yeah, this is a very strong contender.
Zabelheim. Man, this is strong.
Yeah, if Vampire Survivors is a fun game to just check out, it takes less than 30 minutes of your time per session. It's on Game Pass, and even if you are not on Game Pass, it's very cheap to just buy it on Steam. I think the one of the biggest thing that draws that word of mouth is because this game is hella cheap.
Yeah, and very light to run.
Mm-hmm. See, everyone just want to see numbers go up. That's the trick about video games.
Numbers go up, eh?
It's not about the graphics. Like, it's not about the quality of the graphics. The Vampire Survivors sprite is just so that I still don't recognize the characters by character. I just see them as
Numbers.
You have that. Yeah, numbers and what weapon you start with. That's all I remember. Also,
Numbers go up.
doesn't help that some of the character names are Italian, of course. But when you see the numbers, as in, look at how many of those not really that well-looking sprite fills up the screen, and you just mow them with your ray of light, and your singing, and your power of the garlic that you have upgraded strong enough that it leeches. Wait, it leeches health back, right?
It just take the health. Yep.
No, the garlic is so strong, it eats health. It gives you health. No, there's a good reason for that. Garlic is very healthy.
Yeah.
To the point that it sucks health out of people. Okay.
Instead of fighting vampire, you are the vampire.
But yeah, when you see that numbers go up, and especially if you leave the number, damage number, right? If you just leave it there, and you see that ticking, tap 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 tap. Oh man, ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing for the past few days, and saying it, calling it addicting is an understatement.
I'm so glad this game isn't a free-to-play title. You could totally see how they monetize the
gold coins.
So yeah, sell this sort of game cheap and it feels like drugs. It's shabu shabu all over again.
The number shabu.
Different kind of shabu. Even more like raw shabu.
Raw, the purest
higher
kind.
dosage. Higher dosage because it's less processed.
With a touch of garlic.
Little touch of garlic, yep. That's what's give the kick there.
Oh man. Yeah, that's Vampire Survivors. Check it out on Game Pass.
Yeah. It will consume your life. At the very least, your week.
Yeah, man. So with that, what else do you guys have been playing?
We've been playing a lot of indies this week. I think most of our lineup for this week is indie games. Is it, Anan? Is your game an indie game?
You can say so.
Mm. So who goes first? We have a Game Pass game, we have a VR game, and we have the game that it was started out as a joke and then it goes to it goes very deep for some reason. So mana, take your pick, boys.
You go first lah.
Oh my god, the quiet temptation of going for alright then. So I have played this game, this very interesting indie game that recently came out. And I think like it started out as a joke. I think basically it is the Stanley Parable. And this is their like I think a remaster, reimagining, or whatever we want to call it. And I guess like for those who haven't played the Stanley Parable, it's basically you play as this guy named Stanley, and you are being in every turn you are bombarded with like dialogue from the guy that only identifies himself as the narrator. And there are like in the original game there's like 8 endings we can do. Basically it ranges from funny haha to you just irritated the man to basically give up on you and restart the game. And I think it did won some awards back in 2013. I think like one of their running gags of the game, that's because this game is very meta, and one of the running gags of the game is that when they announce its re-release, or basically the reimagining of the original game, they came out because the game came out in 2013, and guess what game won best game of the year that year? It's a small title, yeah, very small title.
Which also is getting a remake, huh?
It's also ironic, yeah. Which is ironically, yeah. It doubled back somehow. We somehow imploded ourselves into a flat circle now.
Funny. So you still gonna mention the game name or what? I know the game.
Yeah, we all know the game. It's basically The Last of Us.
Like you just have to mention it because someone there thought of Bioshock Infinite and we must correct them.
No, it's not Bioshock. It's The Last of Us. And the best part can like there's one segment and they talk about the quote unquote new content for the game for this new release, and they basically had this the BAFTA Award. So basically this is the British version of the Game Awards basically, and they had best story. The best story of 2013, which technically went to The Last of Us, but they stick it all, like make a plaster, put it off into their name, the Stanley Parable. Which is the funniest gag, I guess, visual gag I've seen. Because it was like basically spite.
Why did Naughty Dog get that BAFTA anyways? They're from what, California?
They're from California, yeah.
Whatever lah.
Like, okay, so...
The spite is justified.
Yeah, the spite is justified. Yeah, they're from Santa... Naughty Dog is actually Santa Monica.
Which is, California, right?
Cali, yeah.
Around the area, right? Geography again. Alright, so I'm gonna spoil like one of the best parts of the new game. So if you want to play this game, it's not on sale anymore. The Steam sale ended like 2 days ago at the time recording. So if you want to play this game, you have to skip it. I think like probably 30 minutes because this will be quite an interesting talk. So starting now. Okay, one of the new endings is very I think it's quite meta towards the game as well, because basically the narrator basically got obsessed with the negative review, one of the negative reviews that I don't think it exists in the original game anymore.
Because it says among the lines of, I wish this game had a skip button because the narrator is very annoying. And the game, so basically, he got mad, so he created a new part of the game where they basically look back at, look at all these parts. If you skip, you have missed out, basically. And it all culminates into this one room where it's just a skip button. Where he said, so now you can, if you are tired with my boring talk, you can now press this button and you can skip my dialogue.
What happens when you press skip?
Yeah, okay, so here's the caveat. The first time you press the button, he said, see, there's nothing wrong. You just skip a few minutes. And then it goes all click honest. If you haven't seen the Adam Sandler movie where every time he fast forwarded the button from his TV remote, basically the game, basically he skipped a few years. And that's exactly what happened. The second time you press the skip button, Stanley, you've been gone for 1 week. You've been standing there doing nothing for a week. Which, what? Well, please, Stanley, don't press that button. And then you accidentally, let's say you just press the button again. It has been a year. Stanley, is that you, Stanley? Are you alive? It has been a year, Stanley, and I think it's one of the pictures that I screenshotted because it is by far the best writing for a game that's supposed to be a joke. I think the punya writing is basically saying, when he finally noticed that you're basically you have just skipped a year again. He basically started with, to begin, there is only regret. I regretted listening to one negative comment that made me change what is basically the fundamentals of the game. Wow, that's actually quite deep for this type of game.
Oh god. What a valuable lesson. Not to get that one weird comment and be obsessed with it. Right?
Yeah, and be obsessed with it.
Funny that we might have. I don't think that part is in the recording. You don't know, but behind the curtain something has happened.
Oh no!
And somehow again, it has been referenced again. Okay.
Oh no!
Good to know. Good to know. Take those lessons and not take them literally.
Yeah, exactly. I expected this game to have more jokes, basically, because it's an Ultra Deluxe, haha. And it switched, it basically subverted my expectations. The best part kan, that section of the end, the ends, it doesn't end out because you can press that button more to the point where the narrator is gone. And then basically
that quick.
Yeah, basically the director is gone, and then you skip into the part where the office space where most of the game takes place is now basically a barren wasteland. And if you guys are wanting to play the game, play this ending first. Basically, because it makes sense when you reach basically the game's version of an epilogue. That game, then it will make sense. Tapi it's not mostly somber lah. There is some fun jokes as well because basically there is if you skip all of it and then the game ends, you start a new one. And they basically, and the narrator just brush it off. Well, let's forget everything what we just did there, because I have some new ideas for the Stanley Parable. Why are they wasting your precious time when we can do the second game? And suddenly, this is the second game now.
The secret Stanley Parable 2.
The secret they suddenly give you, here's a place where you can jump. And here, basically, here's a place you can jump. Oh, now you can jump. Stanley can jump. But then here's some collectible that is very worthless. You won't get anything, not even an achievement.
And this game does have achievements, right?
Yeah, and this game, but doing this will literally give you nothing. It's just we will only get the satisfaction of getting a thing, but you will not get anything in return. Like that's the wording.
I want that beat to be
So
like
meta.
I want that bit to be like posted on every achievement hunter and see how they react. If they can react as a human being and laugh at it, okay. But if that thing question the very bit of their mortality, then we have problems. I have problems with people playing just to get the checklist done.
I mean, if you see like the achievement for Stanley Parable is literally out of whack. One of it is basically test achievement. Do not reveal. So you know who?
Wow.
Yeah, test achievement. Please ignore.
And I think my favorite was the not playing Stanley Parable for 5 years.
Oh yeah. No, the new one, they put it. The new one is do not play Stanley Parable for 10 years, and someone already has the achievement, and they literally screenshot that, and then post it on their Twitter account. You have not only cheated the game, you have cheated your life.
The best part is the calling out of those people who literally have to cheat to get an achievement that no one would have cared. But now look at that, your balls out there on stream getting owned because what you cheated for an achievement that you will eventually get if you just don't play the game for 10 years. Just don't play the game for 10 years.
Yeah.
The Stanley Parable absolutely works if you are not expecting anything out of it.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I did. I feel like
my problem is that I experienced the Stanley Parable back in like 2013.
2013 is the full release. 2012 I think was the mod.
Yeah, I laugh out loud so hard when I experienced those beats and finding out all the secret route. It leads me to like a spaghetti mess of, well, not literally, but you can see a figurative spaghetti mess of like weird story beats in here and there. Yeah. But the idea of like going back again is like, like I even watch the stuff, right? I've spoiled myself of the game and just like watching people seeing it is where I find it.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
The new content hits them. Alright, okay, yes. That's good. But like for me, wanting to like experience it fresh, it doesn't work as much, which is a shame. But I mean, I like that game. I like that game before. It's just that this sort of content is like, it's like, how do you see it? It's like, it's not an evergreen kind of content where, because it's just jokes. Jokes won't land the same the next time you hear it.
Yeah.
But like how you explain it, Daniel, that made me like appreciate the sharp humor they have. Because some of the stuff that they just do, what I saw in the streams I watched, just like, of course they do that. Okay. That it didn't hit me as hard. Also, because I watch, I didn't play, so there's also another thing to mention as well. I appreciate the existence of the Stanley Parable, whatever number it is now.
Whatever number, the Ultra Deluxe, I think like one thing they get it right, is that they have acknowledged themselves as what me and Meck have called. I think like during one of our viewing of I think E3, not E3, not E3 earlier in June, where we saw this one game about Mars, is it Mars or something sentient robot something? And immediately we just call it, oh yeah, it's one of those walkie-talkie games.
Mm-hmm. Or walking simulators for those not in the know. We
Yeah.
here are in the cutting edge. We're gonna call it walkie-talkies.
Like,
Uh,
remember that one of the ending scan is basically you. Oh, okay. So since you're bored with this game, how about we play another game?
yep.
Yeah. In the 2013 version, it's Minecraft. Right? This time, it's now Firewatch.
It comes back.
So they know. So with that, they have acknowledged it. Oh, okay. So we are actually like Firewatch now.
Yeah, the original walkie-talkie. Because you walk with the walkie-talkie. You talk with the walkie-talkie. It just makes sense. That's we should put a write-up about walkie-talkies. The genre, the game genre.
The genre, yeah.
Then we'll see some people have another idea. Oh, let's make a game about walkie-talkies. No.
Walkie-talkies walking. Ooh, that's a good idea.
And it's also a co-op game, so you have to talk to each other as well. And
Yeah.
write that down.
That'll be like a Pixar new style. Basically, Pixar? A sentient walkie-talkie now talking to another walkie-talkie. That's interesting. That's a good idea. I should really write that down. Tak apa, we have it. Yeah, we already have it in audio. Tak apa.
Yeah, but by that time, somebody has write that down. I mean, if you do have wrote that down and did something with it, and what can I say? Congratulations lah. Send the royalties at yeah, Stanley Parable.
Yeah, Stanley Parable, really good game. I think it's one of my new contenders of, I think, best story now. Next to, ironically, Great Legends. Oh my god.
For very different reasons, I guess.
Yeah, for very different reasons.
Interesting.
Oh, so this year's best story is going to be very different. I can promise you that.
We'll see if any of the story games that I've played can make through the cut. But let's see how 2022 will end.
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, Ragnarok is very tempting, but I don't know if it can live up to its hype. Tapi,
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It's November. Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time, and I haven't looked at the list recently, but we have like still a lot of room to put in the top 30. So yeah,
basically set help.
It's gonna be a very hard October, especially if you cover Square Enix games.
What do you mean? Forspoken is delayed, che?
Yeah, it comes in like 4 or 5 games more. Diofield Chronicle is late September. Nier Automata Switch early October.
Oh yeah, Nier Automata Switch, yeah.
And then Star Ocean, the 6-star Ocean game, the Divine Force, also mid-October. There's one more. Harvestella early November. How many is that? And I think there's more still. We didn't even count Crisis Core if it's coming around December or next year. So, yeah, Square Enix. There's a lot of things. That's why they can delay that game. It's fine. We have a lot more. Speaking of a lot of games, now this is the segue. I also played a lot of games in my new old computer.
New old computer.
New old stock.
New old stock, yeah.
But not in real life, but virtually through this video game called Last Call BBS.
From Zachtronics.
Yep.
The final game, man, yeah.
The famous, it's the final game.
It's their final ever game, so that's very interesting. I want to try that actually.
Yeah.
The latest and last game.
The latest and last, yeah. I'll call Zachtronics as maker of the best logic-based game.
Oh yeah, anything to do with logic puzzles, right? Zachtronics has it all. They started with chemistry, and then they went to alchemy, and then they do like electronics. What else? What other weird? But then they also do weird stuff like card games, visual novel.
Oh yeah, I remember that visual novel. Oh my god.
And now that they're calling it, okay, what we gonna do for our last game as we gonna disband and do our separate, go our separate ways. Hey, let's do a bundle of games, 8 in 1 to be exact. How do we deliver it? By having you, the player, access the game through an old 90s Japanese computer. So this is not a real computer. It's in universe it's called the Z5 Power Lance, or the other way around, Power Lance Z5 or something like that. Think of it as an MSX equivalent. It's like the computer from the early 90s. I think even the games are around 92 or 93, around that time. So the idea is you have this computer, this old ass computer, right? When the game boots up, you hear the wheezing of the computer, and then it boots into the desktop. And then the desktop is like your old 90s computer desktop, but it's not in Windows 95. It's still too early for that, so you don't have the start button.
Oh, okay.
This is like old school 90s, like before Windows is a big thing. So the idea is that we have this you have this computer and have fun with it. So what's included in this new old stock computer? There's solitaire.
Of course.
It's bundled with the Sawayama Solitaire. So it's a variant of Solitaire. It's not like Microsoft Solitaire. It's similar, but the tweaks to it makes it it plays a bit different. Like, you know how you have a deck of cards on the top, right? Where you click and then you open up, reveal a few set of cards, right? But if you click in Sawayama Solitaire until the end, you won't get to reset. So that's all laid out. But you have one extra space to work on your card sorting. So, yeah, Solitaire. And then you can go to the BBS, the bulletin board system, the proto forums of the time. You go there and you can download games as hosted by the sysops called the Barkeep. So there's 7 games to download. And yes, you have to download as in okay.
You have to wait. If it says 3 minutes, you have to wait 3 minutes.
And before that,
wow.
Before that, you have to open the internet thing, and the internet thing requires you to open a dial-up connection. And yes, it makes the sound, not the exact sound, but the sound of that thing, where you go into the phone line, and then you are connected to the internet. You do that, you go to the BBS, Last Call BBS to be exact. Find a game you want. You download, you wait until the download completes, play Solitaire for a bit. And then ding, 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 ding. The game's downloaded. Okay, go play. Fun part of the game. Again, the aesthetic wise, they go all in with early 90s computing. So that means, pirate games. Not that kind of pirate games, like track games. Like some of the games you open, right? It starts with the hackers the group intro montage where you hear the music and the graphics, right? The equivalent of your razors, your keygen things. So you have that kind of screen first, and then you boot up to the game. They went all in. At least one of the game is technically an emulated game from an arcade title. So you have to like insert coin, right? Oh, the button for insert coin is just F1. So you click F1, 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 and you insert infinite coins. And then the games you download quite a variety. One is another solitaire game for reasons. But the fun is the fun one that I've been seeking time to, and the reason why I wanted to download this game and play is there's a gunpla builder.
Yep, there's a gunpla builder.
Yep, that it's literally a gunpla builder without the license and all. You pick a model, and then all the runners are split out. So and then you have to pick up the what's the tool again? The thing to like cut the cutter lah kot.
The side cutter.
Yeah, the side cutter to cut the plastic out of the sprue, out of the runners, and then figure out which connects to which, because the manual is one in Japanese and two doesn't have full instructions, so you basically just have to Lego your way and figure out, is this connect to this? Ketak. Sometimes it connects very satisfyingly. Sometimes it's just like either jank or you just don't get the idea, the weirdness of having to see these 3D models in plain 2D. So like the arms should be connected higher, but you don't know. So you have to just like wiggle the mouse until it sticks, ketak, like that. You can also paint the plastic kits. And you even have masking tape, so you can like, you want to like paint just this part of it. Okay, you can carefully put masking tape and cover the pieces that you don't want to get spray painted, or you can just like go gung-ho and just spray everything. There's also the instead of a marker line, you have the ink drop to like highlight accentuate all those lines on the gunpla models. But if you press too hard, it also smudges. So that's a interesting thing that this is what model kit builders who have experience with paint will relate to. Or the small smudges, it's just like pixels, small pieces, 1-2 tiny pixels, but you can see the like, man, that hurts. But yeah, it's just a gunpla builder. You just build gunpla, that's it. That's the whole thing. You can paint them and put colors in. At least the paint is infinite, so you don't have the same problems of like doing it in real life, where you can screw up the paint and it will tarnish the model permanently. That's why I never paint my models. I never want to get into painting. Like, that's a deeper hole and require deeper pockets. Speaking of pockets, there's also a game that you can download in Last Call BBS, which have you like making hot pockets and serving sodas and ice creams and donuts. It's 20th century food court, and this is one of the Zachtronics Zach-like puzzle games. The more straight edge games. It's halfway conveyor belt simulator, where you need to have a factory where this thing needs to go to this thing, and out goes here. So like if you are making an ice cream, make sure the cone is on the plastic thing the plastic tray in order. Plastic tray comes first, and then the cone, put it there, and then it goes to the ice cream machine, and it will put out the ice cream at the right amount and the correct flavor, and then it goes out. Now the fun bit is that to do the logic bit is that there is you have to do some wiring work, essentially. There's half the screen is like, you do the conveyor belt thing, which is like a lot of games have done that. Zachtronics have a game about those kinds of conveyor belt puzzles already. Even the half of it is like, Do you know how to do programming and logic things, but using electronic devices? And it required the visual presentation is that basically you see a wire connecting to another panel with a wire connecting to another panel. So, and you can reorganize the panel in any way you like, and you can connect the wires in any way you like. Sounds like a recipe for a spaghetti of masses of wires? Yes.
Yes.
You can make the most convoluted solutions to how you want to serve your ice cream. There is a easy solution. There is a solution that will fill up the screen. You can do either way. The fun thing is that the tools that are provided to you is not something that I know programming, I know C++, I can do this.
Nah, it's custom thing.
Hold on, you don't do for loops with this thing. So how? So there's a lot of like things that you need to readjust to solve your problems. Like the tools are there, and there are multiple solutions to do all the puzzles. It's a matter of like putting your your mindset correctly to learn how these tools work against whatever experience you have with logic puzzles before. So there is a nuance to it that I find to be interesting and very you can say very satisfying once you figure it out. Yeah, that's the heavy games lah. One of the smaller games, but actually really where it's a smaller title. It looks simple, but I think I've sunk more time into that rather than the other big games in Last Call BBS. It's called Dungeons and Diagrams.
Oh my god.
You look at the screen and you will see like 8x8 grid. And there is a treasure, probably a treasure chest, and probably some kind of monsters there. And the goal is that you have to draw a diagram of a dungeon. And you have hints where there are numbers around the 8x8 grid. And the numbers dictates how many pieces of walls that are on that row or column. If you say Picross, you've got the right idea. This is Picross, but Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
It's Picross with extra steps.
Oh no.
It's literally Picross. The idea, like here, this is an 8x8 grid, right? Okay, the row down there is like they have 2 monsters there, and the maximum is 6. The number stated there should be 6 walls. That means everything must be a wall. That's Picross logic to you. But there is like a learning curve to it, because like that's the extra steps where every corridor must be 1x1. It cannot be a 2x2 space. So it has to be long corridors, and every dead end must have a monster. And the treasure chest room, it must be in a room 3x3 size, where the treasure chest is situated within that 3x3 room is anyway goes. Simple rules, but there is like it takes some time to like learn, and also weirdly enough, this kind of Picross have more guessing to it. Like I mostly like going blind and just say, this like this lah kot. Press, win. Weirdly enough, it's like less about making proper deductions. It's more like maybe this.
Maybe? Yes? No?
Maybe I haven't like figured out the proper way to like get the logic stuff like concrete in my head, right? But there's a lot of guessing work that I know is supposed to be something like this, but how? But a lot of cases, right? I have like done like half of the room I feel like correct, and the other half of the room is like, oh, this is messed up. Restart, clear the room again, do it all over again with a clean, fresh canvas to work with. Oh, soft, easy. How did I do it? I don't know. I just press buttons. But it's fun. Dungeons and Dragons is fun, and there is like, I think it's like 8x8, also 64 puzzles there. So there's a lot of stuff to do, especially if you get a hang of it. It's one of the lighter ones, but also just easy to just like, okay, like, what do you want to do when you open a computer just for a bit? Oh, let me get my mind. No Minesweeper in this computer. Sorry.
No,
What's the closest thing you get? Dungeons and Diagrams. Okay, sure. Sure. It's that kind of game. It can be played like a Minesweeper. In terms of like, it doesn't require you a long commitment. You can play it by just haphazardly guessing. But there's a very good logic behind it. And if you figure that out, it's actually quite fun. The other games I'm not too hot on. Maybe it's because like I don't understand it enough, or like, no, the Cthulhu game is just, I don't know what am I doing, what I'm looking at. I have no idea whatsoever. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It has a Cthulhu-esque spelling, but the subtitle is called The Forbidden Path. That has an horror aesthetic and whatever, and I don't know what I'm looking at. Blood, you have to make bloods, you have to turn blood into skin, or whatever. Like, I just don't get that game. The other is I forgot something computer wizard, electronic wizard. That's basically a CAD program. You even have like windows where if you open Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. You know, a big window, and then there are like tinier windows inside there within your workspace. And it's those like input output puzzles where input is here, turn it into the output. Basically logic gate puzzles lah. When the problem is, do you know how to make transistors?
Yo.
The first thing the game teaches you is how to do an is it PNP or NPN transistor? It's either that
NPN,
because it becomes an AND gate. So
yeah.
NPN good.
Yeah, NPN, yes, AND gate. So you need two terminals to let it through. Yeah.
And then the next puzzle is how to make an OR gate. Oh God!
Yeah, to make OR gates. You have to use capacitor.
Oh, you. Oh, that's how. Like, I figured out that you have to do 2 transistors for now, but then I don't know.
I think so. I haven't touched that one yet. So I just touched like 3 puzzles on watch.
Because what I did was like, if I do this. The opposite of NPN, if I do PNP, does it work? Nah. Because the input is also affected if we do combine it.
Yeah, because you have to delay.
Yes.
Because instead of 2 signals arriving at the same time, you have to delay 1 signal.
Because
like per clock.
If you do not delay, the problem is that the signal clashes and becomes a different output.
Yes.
In fact, I think I joined it early that even the input is changed. Like the input bar is like red. Oh, how? I thought the output should be different, but somehow I messed up even more. Okay. Like the worst part about playing that bit is that I used to know how transistors work. I've read the textbooks. People refer to me like, Meck, you know how to do how this what's the answer to this transistor problem? I know it easy. Well, I didn't say easy back then lah, but it was easy for me. But now I have absolutely no idea how transistors are wired to. Like, now I'm starting to second guess, how do you even connect transistors? Like, how does it even work now? So I'm having existential problems playing this game. Like, oh man, what I have learned at school, it didn't amount to anything. I cannot even play this puzzle game. I need to go back to school just for that.
I mean, don't take it too hard on yourself, man. It's just a game.
A game.
So it's harder when you used to know that thing and because
Yeah, I understand. I get it.
like if I'm a complete buffoon, I never even understand that I can just say, yeah, that's above my pay grade. Yes, but I used to know that thing. Like, oh man. But yeah, but it's fun that the presentation is like as a software. The fact that this is not even a game, it's a software, and even like if you look at the properties and see the license, like the way it presented there is like, oh yeah, it has the serial number. Probably keygen serial number, crack serial number, but yeah, that's the sign of a crack software when you look at it.
Going through with the pirate thing.
It's very like the team is very cohesive in that way. Like you imagine the idea
where seed, distribute LimeWire and stuff. That kind of thing.
This is the good old days of 90s computing. You pirate everything and download it from some BBS forum. Like, yeah, that's what I have to say about Last Call BBS. It's one of my favorite games this year, despite being like multiple games, and also the soft spot of this being the last of its kind by this very creator, right? So
Yeah.
they went out on their own terms and they went out with a
With a
bang.
bang.
So
Their
that's
magnum
all.
opus.
Yeah.
I would say this is their magnum opus.
But they've made Opus Magnum, right?
Oh yeah.
They
Oh my
could have
God.
added that, but no, they kept
They
on
play the
going.
long game. Is it their magnum opus? Oh no, they have made opus magnum.
There is a magnum opus. What do you mean?
Let's call BBS. That's the best last call to have from them. They have the last laugh. So that's my journey into the virtual computer of the 90s. So what adventures in the virtual world that you have, Anan?
Yeah, my adventures in the metaverse I've reached. So okay, I've discovered inner peace
What?
in the way of violence, which is guns.
Understandable.
You may ask why, how, and I shall explain.
Oh, no.
Okay. Here's the background.
Mhm.
I okay. As some of you may know, I have a Oculus Quest. Oh no, it's not Oculus Quest now. It's Meta Quest. God dang, Zook. I browsed through Steam recently for sales, and I was like, okay, I haven't bought any new VR games in a while, so why not? Then there's this game called Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. Oh, that's a weird game. Okay, what is it? Okay, as the name implies, this game does have hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. But the one thing that it doesn't have in title is that in the title is it's full of guns instead of this three. Just guns, basically gun simulated. Yeah, which is what people pretty much want to play in VR. Things like first-person shooter. Okay, how good is it if we can play it in real life? So that's why people play airsoft. They just want to experience, they want to experience real guns, but in not real guns. As in, you don't kill people when you shot them. You shoot them, yeah.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Very understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades, or in short, the community called H3VR, is a gun simulator where you as a player, get to experience guns in the virtual world. And experience as in you get to pick it up and interact as in real world guns. You can pull slide, lock the slide, put it on save, and then of course fire it. Yeah.
So, does it have complicated reloaded as well? Reloading?
Okay. Take for example, one of the most popular bolt action rifle, which is the Mauser Car 98K. So the step to use it, you pick it up, you pull the bolt. Okay, you have to grab the bolt, the charging handle, the handle, pull. Then you take your stripper clip. You have to put it on the stripper clip for the stripper clip slot, and then you have to push all the cartridges inside. Then you just grab the clip and you throw it away, and then you have to push the bolt in. All these steps.
Yep.
And then you can fire.
Yep. That's what I expected from a VR game about guns.
Yes, exactly. Instead of just pressing one button R to reload, but you have to interact as in real guns. Yeah. And then it's not just firing. You can guns, especially modern ones, you have attachment, right? As in scopes and laser sights, red dot sights. So you can try and error with different attachment, make it your own in a sense. Yeah. And you can also make it wacky, like you can put American flags, or you can put, I don't know, big. I haven't tried that. Maybe I can. You can put a big ass scope on a revolver. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I can. But I'll try later.
Absolutely.
I haven't tried it yet, so that's a good idea. What else? So yeah, okay, back to the main topic. I found inner peace in this game about guns, which is kind of ironic. Because this is a gun sim, so you will. The game does provide with a firing range. So what I do is I open up the game, just went to a firing range, and then pick any gun I want, and then just shoot. Just go there and shoot for like 2-3 hours as a kind of therapy.
Oh my god!
And now I understand why Americans love their guns. I am now a true believer of the Second Amendment.
Oh no! Oh
The right
no!
for people to bear arms
Oh no.
is enshrined in the Constitution.
Bare arms are shaking right now. You can see Kuma from Tekken shaking his bare arms. Oh,
Yeah.
so I assume the gun physics are very much satisfying to you as well, with
Yes.
hot dogs,
Right.
horseshoes, and hand grenades.
Yes, exactly. My favorites are, outside, other than bolt action, are the revolvers. Okay, semi-auto pistol are cool. Some things like 1911, Glocks, some 6 or P365, whatever. But my favorite are the revolvers. You just open the cylinder. You can spin the cylinder. You can fill the chambers either individually or use speed loader. Then you can spin. Oh, you can play Russian roulette basically.
Oh god.
Just open the cylinder, put one bullet in any chamber, spin, close your eyes, and then
Hope for the
put it
best.
in. Yeah.
Hope for the best.
And then try to shoot yourself. What else? Yeah, of course. Being a gun sim, you also the game also provides like challenges other than other than ranges. You have challenges that you can shoot enemy. They even have Team Fortress a pseudo team fortress in this game.
Excuse me?
TF2, yes, you can play TF2 in this game.
Oh.
I think like TF2 map something like it's not a full TF2, it's just something like TF2 that the developer put it in. Yeah. And okay. The name hot dogs. Why is it there? Why do
Yeah, what's it? Why?
Are
Why
they hot dogs?
the enemies are hot dogs?
So
So instead of you shooting human enemies, and of course, like you don't want kids to shoot people of all things.
No.
Shoot hot dogs. This is more kosher. So kosher violence against hot dogs.
okay. Fair enough, I guess.
This is halal, okay? This is halal killing.
Okay, shoot hot dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for those of you who want like shooting challenge, yeah, you can go to the multiple proving grounds. I haven't tried it all, but there are challenges, like challenge rounds for those who are competitive enough. But for me, yeah, I'm good with just gun range. You have sniper range. You just take sniper. Oh yeah, for the sniper or bolt action rifle, should I say? The rifles, you can pick like different scopes and then attach the scope, and you can adjust the scope, as in different magnification.
Oh.
You can adjust the zero, as in, okay, let's say you set the zero to 200 meter, meaning that if when you shoot, the center of the crosshair will hit exactly at center at 200 meter. That's what zeroing means. Okay, so you set to 250, and then you can set windage and elevation. I'm not sure how it matters, but yeah, but you can basically adjust the scope based on your like targeting and stuff. Yeah.
And I assume that you do get to see inside the scope in VR as well, right?
Yeah.
As in, like,
yeah. Basically, that, yeah. You look through the scope in VR.
Yeah. Okay.
If for the FPS veteran, that you may know like two different kinds of rendering for scopes. One is the full zoom, like single render, as in you see through the scope. Okay, it's zoom, right? Let's say 5x magnification, and then all your field of view, even outside the scope, is magnified 5 times. That's a single render, right? There's another one, just more complex. Games like Insurgency use double render, as in you look through the scope, it's magnified, but your field of views are not magnified, just same, as in real world. So in H3VR, it uses something like the double render. Yeah. So it's not just okay. It's a screen on a digital glass. No, it's like a proper binocular. You know, it has eye box. You have to put your eye at the right place. So yeah, the realism is really good.
I imagine like a game that is based on VR to have the realism at least 80 or 75%.
Yep. And then what else? Oh yeah, it's quite actively developed. So it's not something like, okay, they develop and then after 6 months, okay, new update. No, it's being actively developed and got and even have like frequent devlog by the developer. Yeah. So even though I pay like $30, something like almost 40 ringgit, I can expect more guns to be added, more features down the line. No microtransactions.
Ooh. I was like, I mean, yeah, it is, what's it called? The VR games tak ada lagi this, you know, this microtransaction trash. So hey ho.
I mean, consider how niche the VR market is. I think.
Oh yeah, interesting that. Yeah, interesting that is big no right now.
Yep.
You just have a small amount of people to charge money for. Don't waste their trust.
And goodwill.
No, do not.
No.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the Steam page. This game released in 2016, which is in line with the early wave of VR.
Mhm.
The current VR as we know today. So, and still in early access.
Yeah. Still being actively developed.
Yep. 7 years, roughly. Oh. I mean, so called to say when early access ends, but I'm just find that fascinating. Oh, still early access.
I imagine when is the access ending? That's the fun part. That's when the early access begins.
Yeah, History VR is a very fun game. If any of you has a VR system, this is a must buy. This is a must buy. Especially if you like guns. It's just a really good, how do I say? Just a therapy in a sense. Just shooting stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You don't have to like shoot people in real life. And one self-discovery other than the inner peace that I found in this game is that I'm like cross vision in a sense. I'm right-handed, but my dominant eye is left.
Ooh.
So I have some difficulty in aiming, especially things like long gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Because guns
Like different
assume
dominance.
you use the same arm with the same the main arm is the main eye as well, right? To see scopes.
Yes. But yeah, I can train myself to use my right eye by default. I focus or aim with my left eye, even using my right hand. So it kind of get difficult sometimes, but it's okay. I just learn to shoot with both eyes open.
Learn with the bird with the pin.
Yeah, so that's History VR. Seeking inner peace through means of violence.
Yeah, maybe that's the real secret of inner peace for most people. You express the violence, the anger in some other places, some in very controlled ways. Hey, guess what? Video games can be a good avenue for that.
The Marvel video game. People say, oh, video games cause violence. No, we are not violent because we have video games.
Yeah, true. Yep.
That's always my favorite bit. We are violent. But we do it in games.
In the video games.
And now we don't need to do violent things anymore. We are content with real life because we expressed it somewhere else. Moral of the story is never to contain any particular kind of emotion for too long. Once it's burst, oh boy, good luck. With that kind of luck, I think we should go to the news.
Yeah, the news?
go.
Question mark?
I just put the Ubisoft stuff in there. I'm not sure if you have.
Yeah, I think it's not bad. Like, we can talk about the Ubisoft. I guess, okay, so I think we go first with Ubisoft is doing their direct? State of play, whatever they called it. I think they called it Ubisoft Forward.
Yes.
But unlike everyone else, doing it in the summer, they're doing it in September, basically autumn. But my question is, are there any games they want to show? Because the two games that was recently announced are, I want to say, I think it looks interesting, but it needs more polish. And knowing one of these games again is in development for like how many years now? Skull Bones have been in development. 10 years?
Almost like 9, I don't know. I forgot the timeline. But
Okay,
it's been a long time.
yeah, when did Black Flag came out? 2014. 2014 kan?
Yeah. More or
Yep,
less.
it's almost 10 years because this game started development in 2013. Oh my god.
And yeah, from what I've seen on like trailers and the promo materials, Black Flag is better than this when it comes to the piracy stuff.
The game is going like the worst part is the game is about to go free. I don't know. It's not even. No, it's not going to be. It's literally free on PS Plus Extra right now, thanks to Ubisoft Plus. So you between these two free games, you might as well play Black Flag.
Okay,
Or you can play Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, you can play Sea of Thieves. That's
That's even better.
Yeah, that's also
okay, so
free.
that's the question I wanted to ask you guys. Like, what was Skull and Bones back then when it was revealed, and what is Skull and Bones as it's been re-revealed that it's going to be released later this year? Because I thought that there should be like a very stark difference. Like, oh, we have totally changed directions. We do it from this game to this. I feel like I'm looking at the same game, but everything about the promo material has been changed. Like, oh, we're now using a very simple font for Skull and Bones, the logo. Like, even the logo is just like a dot and an X. Like, oh, god damn it. They even lose the regal kind of like, oh yeah, old piracy, right? So what gives? What's changed?
More microtransactions.
No, but for real, look, I did skim through the gameplay here. I do not know what's like.
I don't know what's like main game here.
Yeah, that as well. I know that. Or the emphasis now is that you level up, which is everything every game these days.
Yeah, level up your ship. Buy new ship.
Increase infamy.
Basically Ubisoft. No, yeah, that's basically not Ubisoft. That's basically the Division 2, Ghost Recon, AC Valhalla. Because I'm pretty sure I think like the only game that doesn't have the leveling system is Watch Dogs Legion.
That's my biggest thing that I cannot like decipher what Skull and Bones is doing is that what is this game? Like, what makes it like, okay, take away the pirate theme, what is this game still? Is it a ship game?
Nothing. No.
Is it a ship combat game? Not necessarily, right? Because there's also crafting system.
Is it a numbers go up game?
Is it? I'm not even sure if the numbers go up.
Like,
I mean, even with all this official promo material, we are still confused. What kind of game is this? I mean, okay, let's say, okay, level up and buy stuff. How? What's the main gameplay loop for you to even like get resources to level up? And what for do you level up?
Like, is the crafting the main thing to level up, or is the pirate like even pirating, right? What's the scope of the pirating we're talking about? Is it just ship combat, which
ship raid,
which
is it island?
Is it like you control a character and like you become a playable pirate? Like, yeah, now I think we know the result of like all the studio meddling, mismanagement, and not clear ideas of what this game's supposed to be, and it has manifested very well. Because I still have no idea what they are selling here. Like, what does this game do that other pirate games out there, Skull, Sea of Thieves, or whatever the indie pirate games that there are plenty of, what does Skull and Bones do that those games don't? It's like,
I think that one thing like I don't like about Skull and Bones just by looking at it is that the graphics will blend. It looks like it looks like
It's like any other Ubisoft game.
any other. It's basically like it's not even the new engine. It's not even the new Assassin's Creed engine. They are still running on basically Red Flag. That's why it looks weird.
Like graphics wise, I have no complaints, but I'm
I have no complaints with that, but
I still have my gripes with how the game is being presented without all the regal piratey old-fashioned themes. Why do they have to use the very simple modern gritty font
yeah,
for the UI?
It looks like a mobile, like something out of mobile indie game, something.
If you don't,
Is this a Ubisoft game?
if I didn't see you, if I don't know if Skull and Bones is supposed to be a game about pirates, I'm looking at it and say, what is this looter shooter mobile game? Just look at the logo and the name, and Skull and Bones. It does. Man, this game had, man, they really
10 years in development.
The problem is they couldn't cancel it for legal reasons. They have
for
to
legal
ship
reason,
whatever ships, whatever is in the ship, they have to ship.
But I think at this point they are like sunk cost fallacy. They have invested so much and have like almost nothing to show. They're like, okay, just ship it. Refactor whatever they have.
Which is a shame because, back then when people played Black Flag for the first time, I thought, the ship combat is fun. Ship combat is good. The idea of a spin-off game that is just about ship combat was very interesting back then. But the pirate game has like moved on.
Yeah,
I think Sea of Thieves has become actually good now.
Yeah, like when they announced that in their own Ubisoft thing, the next day Microsoft announced, Rare's making a pirate game. I think pretty sure it was like that.
Yeah, if this game go toe to toe with Sea of Thieves, I think we have a very different story. Like, this game is approaching the pirate team this way, while Rare and with Sea of Thieves is doing something else. We could have had two pirate game case, but both are doing different things, which would have been interesting. But now that I think like in the mainstream video game space, Sea of Thieves has basically established themselves. You want to play a pirate game?
Yeah.
If you want to go niche, well, let me recommend you to Sid Meier's Pirates from 2000 and whatever, I cannot remember, but that's an old game that has a lot of pirate simulation things. You can rob people, you can be a privateer, you can do sword fighting, and yes, this developer from the developer of Civilization I'm talking about, they did a pirate game like that. No, seriously, I do not know where Skull and Bones is going with whatever they showed. It just feels like a Ubisoft game.
Ubisoft game?
I mean, it does say that this is a Ubisoft original, but I do not know it should be a selling point to these days or not. For better or worse, a Ubisoft original.
Oh, so speaking of Ubisoft original, we should talk about the second game then.
Before we move on, speaking of pirate games, I should just mention I'm still looking forward to a pirate game this year, and it's not Skull and Bones. It's Return to Monkey Island.
Again,
another game about pirates from the 90s. Recurring theme, I know. Okay, now we move on to the second game that Ubisoft is going to release.
I think it's already teased, yeah. So, besides the free-to-play Division game, Heartland's coming to, PC and consoles later, I think like later this year. More or less. Because it's now in closed beta.
I think it's gonna be next year.
I think, it's going to be next year, it's going to be the date next year. But other than that, there was another Division game coming. and it is a free-to-play third-person RPG shooter mobile game. The silence that you see out the audience is our shock.
The silence is deafening.
Yeah. Who asked for this? Nobody.
Okay,
Why does it look terrible? Okay, it's not that terrible. Okay, I apologize I will refresh. I will refrain that wording. But okay, why does it look very generic? That's the better word. Is it because I've been spending too much time playing better games? Tapi yeah, this looks, because I'm looking at their screenshots, the media screenshot. I mean, yeah, Freedom Lady. The generic guy that you kill every time in Division 1. Turrets and drones and numbers go up.
Okay, so at least we know this is a proper looter shooter, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Numbers go up, loot shoot. Oh, I see the UI. Oh yeah, that's a looter shooter. That the gears have colors. Yep. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the screenshot with the UI that should remind you of the Division, right?
Yeah, it is remind me of the Division.
Okay, so the other thing is I'm looking at the lady character here, and this does not look like an Ubisoft game. This looks like a game targeted for mobile audiences, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is. It's created by a company that starts with the letter M ataupun start with the letter C. Yeah.
There's a very specific look to human characters that have been being heavily marketed on the mobile space. I do not know how to explain it, but if you look at it, you know. Oh, that kind of features in the face are I see. Of course. It's someone will figure out how to put that into words, but yeah, that I guess. So the game is basically just Division on mobile, right?
Yeah, that's it, I think.
If it's just that, I think it shouldn't be too bad. It should be okay.
I don't know. That's what they say for Diablo Immortal, and I've played like the first 2 hours of it on PC because they just finally released on the Asia region, and it's boring.
Okay, is Diablo Immortal horrible because of the game itself, or because
No, it's not horrible. It's the okay, if you cut off the microtransaction issues, it is a boring game.
Okay, it's boring.
Yes.
So that's the thing here right now. It's boring for us who have played this sort of games and then coming to mobile, and we got something boring. But would this sort of game take off for mobile game audiences?
Definitely. I think that's right.
That's the other way to look at it. This is not for us. It's always like that. Those mobile games aren't for us. That's why when people are like being angry about Diablo Immortal, right? I kind of like to sit at the sidelines. Like, if you're gonna go die on that hill, there's plenty of other games that have like do all the stuff Diablo Immortal are doing and got away with it. I'm not gonna wage a war that big. Like, we have a game that have done that kind of thing and got away with it, and they are on PC and PS4 and PS5.
Yes.
Let's just put it. I do not want to wage a war there.
We don't name names.
I mean, you can make a good guess what that game is. But that's why I do not go enrich about terrible and shitty mobile game monetization, because if we are going to stand on that hill, we better do a better job at like clearing the horde. It's a horde, and we're probably gonna lose. We are the minority fighting for justice, and I'm not ready to go on that hill. That's the thing. Like, as long as for now, this Division mobile game, we do not know more other than this is gonna be a mobile game that's basically just the Division. When we see the loot boxes, maybe we change our minds. Which they can actually implement, because the Division 1 and 2 also have loot boxes technically, right?
Yeah, tapi for cosmetic,
the cosmetic crates. Oh, they can go wild with that.
I hope like the microtransaction won't be as egregious, I guess. But there's no mobile or Ubisoft game yet, and that we can base it off. We only base it on bad offenders like like Blizzard just now.
The one way I can see it being offending people is the way the power level creep up.
Oh yeah.
Mobile games tend to like, yo, first hour, look at all this content. You keep on progressing. Whoa. Level up. You need to level up higher until you get progress to the story. How long do you need to grind? 1 week later.
Yes.
Next story. Mobile games. That's the only reason mobile games are this way is because not many people have played games like we are.
Which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Every time I look at this sort of thing, I'm just like, oh man, it is a privilege to be able to afford video games, mainstream video games, like enthusiast media. I still don't know the right word to explain PC and console gaming. Hardcore gamers? That's a bit weird. But yeah, you know, the
hardcore gamers, hardcore mobile. Does that count?
Don't count out how hardcore mobile gamers are a different breed, man. They have very different fingers than we are. How they can play games using virtual controls as well as they are doing is just mind-boggling. Those are wild. I think I mentioned about me playing mobile games with gloves on, right? Yeah. I think I've mentioned that before, but mobile gamers are weird.
Different breed.
Very
different breed.
They are very much built different. Yeah, at least for this Division mobile game, I do not know where to poke holes with. So good on you, Ubisoft.
Unlike the other games, so this one's better a bit.
Yeah, I'm not saying this game is good, but you know, again, it serves a purpose. It knows what it wants to be.
In the class of a game, mobile games, and you get a passing grade, boleh lah.
Okay lah, okay. Until
congrats.
This,
the pointer you will keep your pointer intact. No increase, no decrease. Alright, so I guess that's it for the podcast.
Yeah, that was a ramble and then some.
Oh yeah.
So what do we have on the thumbnail, man?
A skip button.
I foresee people skipping the Ubisoft part. For you skippers out there, welcome back. It's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it's the end of the podcast. Welcome. And we are now just discussing what are we going to put in our thumbnail. And my suggestion is the skip button. Okay. And I guess wiring. Hot dog and wiring?
Yeah, hot wires as well. Hot wires, hot dogs.
Hot dogs, you must put hot dogs.
Yep.
Crosshairs on hot dogs.
Sentient hot dogs and hot dogs on the fryer with hot wiring and the skip button. God damn it! If I just tweak I just Photoshop the UI for the 20th Century Food Court, right? I don't know if there is a sausage level. I should try and find out. That could have just worked.
Yeah.
A few sentient hot dog, a skip button, the press play the fast forward button turns it into the skip button, and very simple job. And also it has the the dual screen effect, which is very in vogue these days. Everybody likes a split screen thumbnail.
Yes.
Last Call to
Four.
any editions. 1, 2, okay,
No.
that's it.
No, that's it. We are close.
So, social links and what's coming up on the website.
Alright. Who will go first? I guess I'll go first.
It's pretty
Every
good.
time.
It's not even a question.
Oh my god. Alright. I've been Daniel, and you can follow me on Twitter. That is twitter.com/fakey, FL4K. Why? I have a review of the latest Formula 1 game coming soon. And it's not good. I can tell you that it's not good. It has been a mare. It's a fair assessment right now. Okay, Anan?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. Drop near DR4UPN1R, DR4UPN1R. Upcoming review on gaming headset from Creative. Yeah. Creative X65 game, Air Gamer. So yeah, stay tuned. Meck.
And I have been Amirul Mekronos Ashraf MECKRONOS. Find me on Twitter there. See more of my cursed creations of a hot wiring job. Playing through 20th Century Food Court, part of Last Call BBS. I'm posting a whole thread there. Maybe some cursed gunpla colors as well, because I choose violence when it comes to coloring gunplas.
Meck woke up and just violence.
They don't call me the Macromancer for nothing. There are upcoming reviews. Like for me, it's something a bit Warhammer-y. That's coming soon on GamerMatters.com, and expect few more others soon as well. Yeah, that's your lot. That's the lot, the Gamer Matters podcast, and
I never heard of Ubisoft punya theme song until now.
They have things.
There, I think so back then.